Okay, I started recording. Let me get my script. Okay, so this assignment entails that we have a div here, and this div, sorry, we are going to have is like, let's just call it ID record. ID equal to record. Okay, then this is our JavaScript script will go here. So this entails that we have a list of students. Entails that we have a list of students. Then when if we want to delete a student, we can just say okay, we click on a delete button and a prompt will come up. We enter the index of the person we want to delete and want to take okay. It deletes that student and updates our record. So that's just it. So firstly, what we're going to do is we'll have an array. Let's call it let cohort 11 equals, I'll give it an array. So what do we need to have? Is it just the name, or should we make it to be a name and a passcode?
Yeah, name and passcode.
Okay.
Better.
So let cohort 11 equal, if it's name and passcode, then we're going to use object name mayor. I'm doing this because I just believe we have done this already, so I don't need to be wasting time in this. Okay, so
Yeah, that's
it makes sense now. It makes sense now. Mayor, name and passcode. Sorry, name and passcode. Passcode to be cohort.
should I call the real passcode?
Yes, no, I don't know. What should we do? Should we put a real passcode?
Let's put the real. I can call them for you when you need them. I can call them out for you.
Okay, let me. I don't even know my own living. Please
Maybe
call.
change that name to username. Let's just use username and passcode.
Username.
When you are ready for the passcode, tell me.
Okay, let me finish with
Are you
all
ready?
of them. Wait, let me finish all of them. User name.
Okay.
Second one is Francis. And passcode. Username.
What's the Max?
What's my be like your name na common now?
Boss, what is up? My name is Lawitin.
Common now.
Na common now.
No be only now, na common now. It looks like there's an issue somewhere. Okay, it's because I've not completed it.
Frank Chooks.
User name. One word.
Yeah, one word. Frank Chooks. Like that.
And the passcode. Is Olaya still here?
He's not in the meeting at the moment.
So it's just 4 of us.
5.
Okay, Blessing.
Blessing is here.
Blessing.
Okay, Blessing. Yeah, blessing is here. Blessing
Okay,
is
Blessing Onyibo has added username
Bless Royal.
Bless Royal
Bless Royal.
and the passcode.
One S. One S for that bless.
Okay, now let me get the passcode for me. Passcode.
Don't you need more? Don't you need
No,
like
no. Let's
how
just
many? How
let
many? How
we
many do
can
you have?
add later. Let's go with people who are here.
Okay. Okay. Passcode for yourself. Let me get them now.
3.
Passcode for yourself is 68377.
Okay.
68377.
Passcode for
The next,
yourself.
who's the next person?
You.
Me.
Yes.
7878770.
Okay.
Who's the next?
Fran.
Who's the next?
Osimax. Osimax.
Okay, Osimat is 40258.
40258.
The next should be Frank Chooks, right?
Yes.
16348.
And the next is
And then Blessing, our Smalley. Okay. Blessing is 40258.
okay. So let's just have this one first. Now I want to display all of this in my record. First of all, I'm just going to say for let I equal to 0, this is cohort 11 dot for each person do this. So this is another way to say for. You know how to use the normal for now. I like to, when I'm doing this, I like to teach so that when you see somewhere you don't for let I equal to 0, that's to start from 0, I less than your array dot let, that's cohort 11 dot length I plus plus, that for this you should do this, for this you should do this. This thing now is the same as this for each I'm putting here, but let me I don't know which one I should use. Anything I'm going to write here now,
Yeah,
I'm going to write it here.
use for I've encountered for each. I've used for each before. I don't know about the other. I think I'm more conversant with for each.
For each makes sense, that for each of the person in this you should do I want you to do, it's going to get this record for us, this record for each of that person. It's going to get person dot username. I'm just trying to get everything at once. I could just print person dot username. let me just use person or username only so that okay, for each of these you should just print us person or username. So let's run this and see what happens. Okay, cohort 11 dot for each document dot this the record equal to I'm supposed to get this on my record. I want to console.log it. Let me console.log. Let me know why it's not printing. Let me check the console. Here is not defined. Wait, is this how I'm supposed to write object? It's not how I write object now. Is it like this? Let's see.
Do you need to first define each of them before you call them in an array? I don't know.
Okay, it's correct. It's correct. Let me go back. You were saying something.
I was asking if you need to first define them before you call them in an array.
Which line are you referring to? Line.
I mean
Yeah.
Each of each of those lines themselves.
Yeah, from here, this one. I'm not defining.
Where's your map?
Yeah. Line.
Yeah. That.
I'm not defining them now. I'm just giving the array the values.
Okay.
Okay, hold on for each one. You are telling me.
I dey call make I ease myself at the call. Right?
X. Okay, let me do something. Okay, Terence, comma, good, comma, no. I want to use values 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and save. Okay, the issue is coming from my object.
Okay.
You see, now I can print my numbers. So let me undo this. And I'm going to undo this too. I want to use this method. I want to use this style to get it, but it's looking like this is not correct. Or have I forgotten how to define an object? How to it's an array of objects now, so Okay, I see where the issue is coming from. Values should be in quotes. I don't know what I was even doing. And if people are there watching me,
Don't mess our guy beg. You know say sometimes when you do this thing, we just just pay attention to learn instead of trying to even put our own brain together.
no are just like strings now. Values should be in quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why this username are just like the values. That's why they told me mayor is not defined
Um,
because it's not a string. So, hey, I've checked. I checked when you went to ease yourself. I checked with numbers.
yeah.
I used numbers here,
Okay.
and it worked. It
Yeah.
works fine. So I used numbers here. It works fine. So I believe this should be working fine too. What's this one? I refresh my page. You show me something different.
Are you sure that's the right tab?
Okay, this is I've gotten it now. So you see, you
Okay.
can see it's
Yeah.
showing on my console. So I think I copied something which
Yeah.
I have to replace this. So I was trying to do the document dot to get it inside here. So document dot get element by ID, and I'm getting the record. I want to put inside the record dot inner HTML dot inner HTML should be equal to this. Okay, now can someone tell me why it's printing only less square? That's the last one. I'll fix it, but I just want to know if someone has an idea why it's doing that. I know why. Kind of what? Okay. Can you
Does
can
it
you
jump right to the last?
no let me explain so that we save our time. Can anybody hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I can hear
Now
you.
look at what this is doing. This is saying person dot, that's for each of these, for each of the values in cohort 11, do person do take the value, and the value now will be person. Do for me person dot username and give it to and assign it to this record div. So it's going to do the first one, which is mayor, assign it to record div. It's going to do the second one, assign it again to record div. Why is assigning it to record div? Is overwriting the previous one. So we will now find out that the last one now will overwrite
Okay. The one that will
this.
display.
Yeah. So if you don't want it to overwrite, you have to say plus equal to. Plus equal to means it should take this value, which is person dot username, add it to what he had before. It should down plus
Okay.
equal to me. It's taking this to add it to this. In other words, this means this is actually saying this div should be equal to this same div, control V, plus person dot this. Let me expand my screen. This is what it's doing. It's telling you that this div
Yes.
is equal to the content of that div plus the new value is picking. So if it picks the new value, it's going to add it to the content of the div. The second value is going to be this plus the value of this. In short, we just use it like this, plus equal to, and we save. So if we check it now, it's supposed to give us everything. Now you can see it's giving us everything.
Yeah.
So now, since it's giving us everything, we can now put everything in a list. We can put everything in a list like UL. We can either say, let me cut this, Control X. We can either say put our backticks, and now we do a UL or maybe inside here where we have our record, we do a UL and we give this ID record to it instead. Then now every of these things coming will now be in an li. So we'll come and do an li here, and we put person.username. Person.username is a variable. Person.username is a variable. Then we'll close our li, and now if we save it, we're going to get something like this. So this is a short way of just doing it, but a more professional way is to create elements and now append child. Well, we can still do it like this. This is more understandable for a novice, someone who is just beginning. At least we know what the HTML is. So for each of these, it's going to do li and put a variable in it, then append it to this. So while it does that li, put in a variable, you should also put a cohort, how do you call it?
Passcode.
Passcode. So how do we put the passcode? Is it in brackets or what?
You can use square brackets.
Okay. So after the stuff, it's going to give us square brackets. Let me put a dash, then a square bracket. I'll show you something too after this. So inside that square bracket is going to get another variable again, and the variable now will be going to be
person.passcode.
Now see what's happening. Okay, it's giving us. I think I'm using backtick, so it's giving us what we wanted, but it's
too clustered, right?
Yes,
Too close.
too tight. Anyways, let me just come to our head and do a small style li text. How do I write this thing again?
What do you want to?
I want to give spacing, text spacing. Word spacing or something. It's not really word. It's not word spacing.
Don't think of.
I want to give text spacing, not word spacing.
I've not even used that. I've not used that.
How do you get word spacing? Is it letter something? Letter spacing, yes. A spacing of maybe 2 pixels. Okay. And let me just give small padding up and down. Padding maybe 5 pixels. Then pictures.
No, colon.
Okay. So this looks okay now, Abby.
Yes.
Okay. So I've gotten everything.
Can
I've got-
can the first letters of both the user not the first letter of that pass can they all be, I mean the P, can they be capital like uppercase?
Okay. Yeah, I can either change it here or I use JavaScript to say person dot pass code. I don't know if I can say dots. I think I can change it. Yeah, I can change it using something like this, but I just want to come and change it rather than us wasting our time. Why I don't want to change it that way, so that if Skylar will ask you now to explain your code or ask somebody to explain the code,
Yeah.
the person will start going up and down. Okay.
What you used to give that spacing is letter spacing, right? In that
Yeah.
style.
Yes. Let us
What's this?
Because I know I was trying to do this particular assignment today, and then I needed to also give that kind of spacing. But I just had to increase the font size because I did not even bother to check the property to curve.
Now, what I want us to do is we will now implement the function. We'll now implement a function. I want us to use a function for delete. Let's just call it function delete person. Function delete person. And now, this function is going to take a parameter. Why do I say it's going to take a parameter? It's going to take the person. So it's going to take the person from outside. You know, person is coming from something out of the function. So we're going to say if we call this function, it should do. Is it only one parameter? It's not. Is it only okay? No problem. It's going to take a parameter person when the user input, and if you call the parameter, it's going to do cohort 11 dot splice. And we know how the splice happens, right? It deletes the element, the index of the element. That's person. The person will be the index because that is what the user will input, and the second parameter will now say, okay, from here, how many elements do you want to delete? We just want to delete that one person. So that's all. We have written our function to delete. So we are going to call our function. But we cannot just call our function. We'll say, let's go to our stuff here and say, let's have a button here. Let's put BR here and say we have a button here with the ID equal to delete. And now this button will say delete. What should I say? Delete what?
Delete this delete member or delete this user.
Delete member. So I save. Let me show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. So on click of this button, piam, a pop-up should come, right? So that you'll be able to put your stuff. So we have to say,
Yeah.
let's get that button. Doc, let's get that button. I'd like to write it here. I like to write it so that we get our button here. Let delete member equal to document dot get element by ID delete. This is fine, right? I've gotten it.
Yeah.
Then we are going to say we have written our function. This is the only function to delete. Then we are going to say delete member.add if any listener click is going to listen to any click, and when you click, what should happen? It's going to run this function for us. When you click, it's going to run this function for us. Delete member.
Yeah.
So when you click, it's going to call the function delete person. Delete person, and we are going to
There's E in your person.
delete person, and we are passing it the input. No, when we click that button, it's going to give us a pop-up first.
Exactly.
Let me say let user let member ID equal to prompt, because we'll get the prompt. Say enter the student ID to delete. So let's enter the student ID to delete. We are going to make sure we attach the student ID so that the user can see which one to delete. So let this enter the student ID to delete. Once you enter the ID, okay, once they enter the ID, then we are going to say that ID will now be member ID. So if you check here, what our function does is it takes something. Okay, so that is it. Let's see what happens if we do. So if it does this, console.log cohort 11. Okay, I know why I'm using console.log first. Let me go to console. Okay, so let's delete and I don't want to delete my own. Let me delete the cohort leader. One. Remember, it is 1.
Yeah.
Your ID will be 1. And click OK. It has deleted you. Do you see it has deleted you? Let me do it again.
Yes, I saw it.
Let me put let me just put 0 for me, and okay. So you see. So now we need this thing to appear back on the screen to update this record, right?
Yeah.
So bring that thing back to update this record. Where is that record? This record. So if we need it to update this record, we should write this thing as a function. So we can just call it back to update that record. So we are going to write this as a function. Let me cut it, Control X. And say function update record, and the update record function is just going to do this for us. Okay, it's just going to do this for us. Now if you run this, you'll not see anything on the screen because we've not called the function. Once it finishes, you see we've not called the function. We'll come here and say, okay, this is a function, this is another function, this is our click button. So first of all, when we start running it, our program, it should do what? It should call the function update record for us. Yeah, you can now see things on the screen. Yeah. So if we now click on delete, after deleting it, you should also call that function update record. So we are calling a function inside the function now. So this function update record only displays, this is it, it only displays this stuff. This is the function update record. Let me make some comments. Update this function only displays the record in this format. Okay, so I've given a comment. Then this function now also, I'll give a comment here. This function deletes a record based on the ID on the index. Then this listens to a click on the button and run the delete function and update the record as well. Again. Let me leave it like this. So I don't know, this looks like we are done. Let me refresh. Okay, we have it like this. If I delete a member, I see this. So if I enter maybe 3 and say okay, oh, see what happens now. See what happens.
Yeah.
It adds
Yeah,
to what we had. It adds, but it deletes it though. I deleted Frank Schultz, which is 3. It deleted, but
You delete that one and then
okay.
then add the other.
So before our function updates, where is our function update? You know, that means our function update is not updating where. Before it updates, function update. Before it updates, it should first of all clear it. So how does it clear it? It's going to say document dot. I don't like, you see why. Okay, let me write this thing now so that you see. Get element by ID. See something, I'm writing this over again. You see, that's why I don't like to use this thing in my code. I like to just come here and do something like const this. Const record list, maybe that. Then I can come here now. Are you hearing somebody they call Blessing? Man voice.
Let's know this again now. Let's not come out.
Okay. Record list and here too. Record list. This looks fine now. Okay, this looks fine now. I think it's going to work very well now. If I delete, hey, okay, it's still loading, and I put 0 and click this. That's it. It's working, right?
Yeah.
Delete again and put. Let me say I put a number that doesn't exist there. Nothing happened. I think I should handle that too. Where is that my prompt? I'm looking for that my prompt.
It should be
prompt. Yeah, you prompt one. Okay. Line 57.
If member ID is greater than call this dot length, or the member ID is not a number, you should just alert to us invalid input, else it will do this for us. Else it should just do this for us. Then I'll have to close my stuff. So if I try that again, I put maybe 8 invalid input.
Yeah.
Then if I try it again, my screen has gone dark. I don't know, sometimes it gets dark. Let me refresh again. Okay.
Me your console or
no, it has come back. It has come back. My screen, the whole my screen will just go down. I've entered it. That showed me invalid input. Now let me just wait. I did not enter anything. Okay, if I don't enter anything, it takes it at 0. I'm going to handle that. You know, nothing is 0.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's handled now. It's still doing something here. See what I'm doing. Member ID equal to okay. Invalid input. Okay, that's fine. We have handled it. I think I wrote something in my code. Okay, it's not a number. So if you enter a text, invalid input. Okay. Okay, any other thing?
Terence, what about if we edit the... Terence,
I can hear you.
what about if we edit the number of names in the array? I hope it won't affect the code.
No, no,
Maybe
no,
we add more names.
no, no. It's if you add
Oh.
1 million names. If you add 1 million names, this remember for each function just goes for each, no matter what. Now I need us to use the index for this, to display with the index, so that we will know which one we are deleting. So let me see this update record for each person. Look at something here. This function now for each takes two parameters. For each, the first parameter is the value and the second parameter is index. Now for each of these, I want it to print for us I want it to print for us. How do I want it to print for us that ID in front? How do I recognize? How do I make it recognize as the ID? Something like
Which ID are you talking about?
the index ID dollar. Let me just do it so that you see what I'm talking about. ID is dollar and index ID dollar index space. Okay, let's do it like this. So, do you see what I'm talking about?
Okay.
So is it okay like this?
Okay.
Or
Yeah, that's fine.
It's okay. It's okay.
let me delete the cohort leader again. So now when you delete, you see now everything updates. Now the new ID one now is somebody else.
Yeah, that's fine.
So at least if you are deleting now, you know what
It's
to
okay.
delete. Let's delete 3. Okay, so this is how to-do lists work. If you are doing your to-do list, as you are deleting, you are updating at once. As you are adding, you are updating at once. This is how to-do list works.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we are done with this. Or if there's any other thing, let's push.
Yeah, there are 2 more assignments. Now my battery is at 13%. Well, let me share my screen and
Okay, let me
play
stop
the
this one.